What's going on, everybody? Back out here at the wood drive. They really wood drive. It's a back driveway full of wood. I'm gonna have to clean this mess up, or the missus ain't gonna be very happy. But anyway, what I've got going on, what I want to do today is I want to run this 400C. Heard a lot of people, I didn't hear a lot of people. A lot of people was fussing that I run the 400C against the 572 and the 372, and the 400C had the bark box and the filter and all that kind of good stuff. So I've got my kit saw out that's been ported, and it's not a crazy port job, but it has had work done to it. It's what I would call just probably the middle build. You know, it's not something that's just crazy fast or crazy hot, but I didn't want a hot saw. I wanted something that I could work with, and it's a good running saw. I'm not saying that. It's very stout. I run a tank through it the day before yesterday out here, ripping some of this bigger red oak down that I couldn't bust because of knots or whatever, and it ran really good. So what I've got here is a hunk of red oak. It's a double heart. It's right there at where a Y or a crotch would have been, and I'm gonna run this 400C. I've got the 372 over there, kit saw, ready just to swap chains. I'm not gonna swap bars because I don't feel like getting my bar adapter and all that crap out. They're both 2-foot bars. That really shouldn't matter as long as it's got the same chain, is what I'm getting at. So I'm gonna do 3 cuts with the 400. Just like normal fashion. First, letting this do its thing. Second, applying pressure. And third, dogging in. So it'll be no edits. I know some people don't like the no edits, but if I don't do it like that, then you get people saying that I, didn't have the same chain, or I rigged it somehow where the saw I wanted to win would win. And if I ever run anything different, then I always let y'all know, like, hey, it don't have the same chain, but this is how I run it. Or, like when I accidentally put the Archer chain on the 572 and it was really slow. So I always try to specify that if you watch the whole video. So here we go. really hard piece of wood. Been done well. Second cut about lost it, but still 400 is a good running saw. I think the fuel tank should have been a little bigger on it, but whatever. And this is still RS chain, so. Still RS chain. It was new, other than the cuts that I done the other day with the 400C, the few when I, y'all see it, but the only cuts this chain had made is when I was comparing it to the 261 with 3/8 Low Pro, so. This red oak is very, 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 very hard. Very hard wood. Better put my dog on there just in case. I don't know if the 400C will be this or not. I'm not just completely expecting it to, but it should be. I just want to see how close it is. Because like I say, this has had port work done on it, so we'll see if it'll fire. a couple more with it on there like that, so it's a completely fair comparison. Oh my dang, the camera's still going. This is the one I've been having trouble with, it just shutting off in the middle of everything. Well, it gets too hot, full storage or what? We'll do a couple more runs with this 400. I don't know about the 462. I've never owned a 462, but I'm thinking that may be my next purchase. Not that I really need it, but just to have it, to see what it's like. It's a little lighter than the 500i, and supposedly a little more powerful, maybe a little less powerful than the 500i. They're all three fairly close. I mean, like the 462 is close to the 400, and the 462 is close to the 500 as far as weight, power, and everything. So I really like the 400. I really like the 500. So the 462 might be right in the middle. You know, I don't know. There goes that. I will say that for the 372 that I have here, it will run circles around a stock 372. And the 372 build, or this kit saw build, it was built more for torque, really. I like a torquey saw. That's why myself, That's why myself, I wasn't real crazy about the 500 series Husky. To me, they ain't a torque saw. These Stihl Intronic, the 400, 500. Even 261 and 550 pretty close, but these high 60 to low 80 cc saw Stihl's putting out, to me, have really good torque. saw. No doubt about it. I mean, it's to me, the kid saw, it felt good, no doubt. You know, it's not a bad saw. Like I say, I've done tested it against the regular 372 Husqvarna and that 372 Pro, and it'll outcut them. The 572, I think, will outcut them, and it'll hang right there with it. But to me, honestly, the 400 felt a little faster. You'll have to time it because I'm not editing anything, so this will just be what it'll be. And I might go back and time it and post them in the comments or the description or something. But not knocking that saw, it's a good, it's what I asked for as far as the build. But what I'm getting at is, if you got to pay somebody to port it, it's a 70cc saw, and it's heavy. And you can get this, put a bark box on it. Everybody fusses about the bark box and filter. If you're going to spend that kind of money, you might as well just got a 462, yada, yada, yada. So I got 12.8 pounds of power head weight. And you got like, whatever them spec out to be, nearly 14 or whatever. So close to 15. And yeah. Which I know that's not a Husqvarna, that's a, you know, Farmer Tech, Holzfforma or whatever. But honestly, that saw was beating my 372 X torque. So it is what it is, and I hope y'all enjoy it. Thanks to everybody that's come here new. Keep on liking, keep on subscribing, and we're about 50 away from the giveaway, so check it out.